welcome everybody to this wonderful Loop Faces talk. We are very excited to have you here. And I would love to start, obviously, introducing my wonderful panel around here. Before we continue to the questions and the beautiful subject. So I would love to start with a wonderful lady. Her name is Hildegard Anzenberger, and she is the general manager of Capella Hanoi. And Hildegard is really an accomplished hospitality executive with more than 20 years of international experience across Europe, Asia, and Australia, and the Middle East. Since 2024, she is serving as a general manager at Capella Hanoi, where she leads the multi-award winning hotel, one of the best in the country, with a strong focus on operational excellence, people leadership, and refined guest-centric luxury. What it is. This is all Capella in Hanoi. Hildegard is German. She was born in Munich and began her hospitality career in 2000. And she has since held senior leadership positions with some of the world's leading luxury hotel brands. Prior to Capella Hanoi, she was GM of the Langham Hefei in China. Earlier roles included hotel manager at the Langham Shenzhen, where she successfully guided the hotel through the challenges of the global pandemic. If you have some time at one stage, I would love to hear how you managed this. It must have been really exhausting.
Barely.
Oh my gosh. Her career also includes serving as director of F&B in the Mandarin Oriental Pudong, Shanghai, as well as leadership responsibilities at the famous Emirates Palace, Abu Dhabi. And you just have a fantastic career as a woman. I think half of your life you've been in Asia. So we can see in her career, you bring extensive international expertise and a strong commitment to delivering personal world-class guest services. So a very warm welcome, Hildegard. I did not want to shorten this because it's so beautiful. Welcome.
Astrid, thank you so very much. You make me much more accomplished than I actually am, and everybody else. I started really young. I really started very, very young.
Yeah, no, that's great. Amazing. It's so good to have you in the talk. We can learn a lot from you. My next lady is Thuy Tran. I hope I pronounced this correctly. Did I?
Yes.
Yes, fantastic. Thuy is also a very special lady. She's a founder and CEO of Indochina Travel Services called ITS Vietnam. And is one of the Vietnam's most established B2B DMCs focused on luxury travel and the European market. Since founding the company in 1995, she had led its development into a trusted inbound travel specialist serving Vietnam, Laos, Cambodia, and Myanmar. So with more than 30 years of experience in the travel and aviation industry, she has developed extensive expertise in business management, destination management, travel design, air travel solutions, and travel safety protocols. And under your leadership, ITS has really built a strong reputation in delivering high quality travel. And she really remains committed to promoting Southeast Asia as a premier travel destination while driving innovation, operational excellence, and sustainable growth within the regional tourism industry. A very warm welcome. Thuy, when I talked to you in our pre-call, I loved your story, and I hope it's okay. I can tell our audience here because 30 years ago when she founded her company, the reason why she did it was because she was married to her husband was from Hanoi. And because she missed her parents so much, she decided to found her company so she has an excuse to go there and see her parents more often. And at that time, there was only telex, there was hardly anything. And you're still married with him. So that's the good news. So I love this motivation of an entrepreneur lady, I have to say, which is really fantastic. So very happy to have you on board. Our next guest, thank you. Our next guest is Steffen Böhnke, Head of Air Tours and Commercial Sales and of TUI. Actually, here in our marketplace, he doesn't really need any introduction, but we also have guests from all over. And you are Steffen has been really shaping the premium and luxury travel segment at TUI for nearly 3 decades. After joining the company in 1994, he served as a trainee travel agent and completed his degree in business administration and then took off to the Maldives to begin his international career as a tour guide. Then Steffen came back, returning to Germany in 1998. So he moved into product management for long haul destinations, later assuming responsibility for the Caribbean and an expanding portfolio of international markets. And then since 2015, more than 11 years now, Steffen has led the luxury travel brand Air Tours, overseeing the strategic positioning, growth, and commercial development. And since 2024, he has really strengthened the brand with his team on the ultra luxury high-end segment while introducing a range of premium customer benefits. Since May 2025, you're also responsible of the commercial sales division at TUI, combining strategic brand leadership with responsibility for the company's sales organization. So, I mean, you are really an expert here in this market, and every time we have a talk every year, it becomes longer and longer. But that's great. It's great to have so much expertise here. Fantastic. We're still waiting for another gentleman, for our wonderful GM Herbert, Austrian as I am. So I think I will introduce him when he comes in, so he hears what I'm saying. So let's start actually with why are we here together today? So sorry. So as you've heard, today we're joined by 4 top industry professionals who know Vietnam from very different perspectives. And this is what I wanted to create. Some have helped shape it, others have introduced it to international travelers, and some have watched demand slowly catch up with a destination that has changed faster than many people realize. Which brings us to today's topic. If I asked our community to describe Vietnam in just a few words, many of us would probably say breathtaking landscapes, incredible food, rich culture, or perhaps backpacking and round trips. But today, Vietnam is also home of world-class luxury resorts, Michelin-starred restaurants, internationally renowned golf courses, and one of Asia's fastest evolving hospitality industry. So perhaps the real question isn't whether Vietnam has changed. It clearly has. The real question is whether our perception has changed at the same time with it. So using Vietnam as our case study, we'd like to explore a much broader conversation. Why do some destinations remain underestimated long after the reality on the ground has changed? And what can the travel industry learn from? So let's find out. So I will start with my question round so that we can discuss this deeper. I would like to start with Steffen because Steffen is always, whenever I want to understand what's happening in the entire world, in the travel industry at the moment as a total, Steffen is the first person I ask. You're kind of like my personal barometer for current travel trends and booking behavior. So before we focus on Vietnam, let's start with the bigger picture. What is the situation at the moment, especially also when we look into the Middle East situation? What are the strongest trends you're currently seeing in luxury travel, and which destinations are in demand for summer and winter and which are not? It would be wonderful if you could give us an overview of what's going on at this stage.
Of course, thank you, first of all, and I'm very happy together with you. Very nice ladies, actually, at the moment. Maybe where I get some support from others as well. So let's say the good news is luxury business and luxury travel is growing since years ever. And there's a study actually from the Grand View Research company from the US. And speaking about overall, not only about Germany or the Europe, it's overall from 2023 for the next 10 years, so until 2032, we're expecting overall a growth of 8.5% every year in an average. So this is the good news. There's no other business, let's say, even not the cruise business, with this kind of growth in the future, and even the last years already, because it started already in 23. These are the very good news. That's why it's, let's say, for DMCs for hotels, for tour operator, for whatever suppliers. It's always good to be in the luxury business. And let's say, speaking about the German speaking countries, it's the best choice as well for travel agencies because, as we know, it's still, let's say, a special region for lots of partners worldwide. It's like looking for the German speaking countries. What's this? Tour operators, what's this, travel agencies, and this kind of things. But it's the best one is as well for us because we are working very closely with more than 5,000 travel agents in Germany, Austria, Switzerland together. And it's really a benefit. It's a partnership because we are training our agents for luxury business. Hopefully, they book as well with air tours, but we are have the biggest luxury B2B academy worldwide because the only one, Airs in France, where we really give the insights, the new trends to our retail partners, and with the idea, of course, to go with to the clients or getting new clients in the luxury segment. This is, let's say, in general. Of course, so it's a growing market worldwide, even in the German-speaking countries, of course. Especially, let's say, for us, at the moment, the highest demand at the moment we have actually for private travel means tailor-made tours. Vietnam is as well on the desk, where we have a huge demand over the last month. And the other part is cruise business. For us at the moment, I was just checking, the cruise business is 20% up at the moment for the current year, and private travel 28% up. This is really driving the business at the moment. And speaking about cruises, which we have as well, let's say there are some luxury cruise ships around Indochina and Vietnam, especially as well, because it's on a desk since a couple of years, which is great. And as well, the new, let's say, the new hotspot for cruises is the yacht business. We have some, let's say, hotel companies, hotel brands coming to the sea and invented new products, and this is selling really great. From destination-wise, for, let's say, middle Europeans, luxury travelers, of course, is at the moment Greece. Greece is still number one, actually, like the years before, especially Crete, but as well the smaller Greek islands like Santorini or Mykonos. This is still the hotspot in the summer. Spain, Mallorca. There's lots of new openings on
Yeah,
Mallorca.
I know. It's
Um,
crazy. Yeah.
it's all the big ones are there,
Yeah. Yeah.
and more are coming, which is as well great for us. The Italy, it's a classical in the luxury segment as well. It's increasing,
Yeah.
and Portugal. By the way, I was just 4 weeks ago in Portugal, and as well there we have new openings, but still hotels which are improving, and the demand is growing. For long haul, number one, believe it or not, is the US.
That's crazy.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
because it's still, let's say, I don't speak about
No.
political issues, but the country is very interesting. It's big and so different. You can
Mhm.
find anything what you're looking for, and especially which is as well for me personally was a surprise, Hawaii.
Mhm.
The biggest demand at the moment. And
Crazy.
speaking about Austria, because you mentioned this, we have
Mhm.
more demand from Austria to Hawaii instead of to New York. So it's an interesting development. Second, by
Mhm.
the way, is Mauritius. After this, Maldives, Seychelles, and Thailand. We're coming close. Thailand,
We're coming
close to Vietnam.
closer.
We're coming
Yes.
closer. Yes. And the biggest row beside Mauritius, Seychelles, is Malaysia and
Mhm.
Canada. Canada is as well is growing this year more than the last years, but of course it cannot compensate, let's say, what we are losing in the US. US is still number one, but of course it's not like the years before. It was
Yeah.
even stronger. Yeah, let's say overall, that's the situation
But the
from
Middle East, the situation with the
the
Middle
situation
East,
in the Middle East, of course, in the summer, or let's say
uh,
before what happened, let's say before the 28th of February, it was a huge demand for the Middle East countries, especially, of course, Abu Dhabi, Dubai, but even Qatar was huge demand. Saudi Arabia, we just started last year with private travel as well to Saudi Arabia. Oman, it was, let's say, we were really looking forward for a great season. Then 28th of February, all stopped. Evacuation was a little bit reminding COVID this times. We have to bring the people back. At the moment, it's, let's say, it's slow. The flight situation is there. The customers can go wherever they want to the Middle East or beyond.
Or further, yeah. Mm-hmm.
But let's say in the summer, it's still very, let's say, low demand. For the winter is coming back. It's maybe not as strong as it was before at the moment, but we see the demand is coming back. It's changing the flights in the Middle East, but even as well to stay in the Middle East countries.
Right.
It's coming back. But it's as well at the moment, it's from my point of view, it's a chance for other destinations to pick up the demand, which we can see, and I mentioned already some destinations. And even Vietnam, we have a very good demand, and we are over last year, especially once again with our tailor-made business. But as well, we have lots of new developments in the country, and this helps as well to create demand, and that Vietnam is coming, let's say, to the mind of the people, saying, "Okay, Vietnam, oh, never been there, interesting."
Yeah, never thought of exactly. That's very good.
Yes, yes,
Yeah, I mean, that is, of course, for Asia, my heart is bleeding when this happened with the Middle East, because it
yeah.
doesn't not only impacts Middle East, it's everything beyond, of course. So sometimes there are winners and sometimes there are losers, that we know. Unfortunately, with situations like that, this is unfortunate. Well,
But they
thank you
will
for
come
this
back. They
overview.
will come back.
Yeah, I like your part. It's positive overall. I mean, people are traveling in the luxury segment. It's not going to change and it's not going to stop. Now, thank you so much. Let's dive deeper. Tui, I would love to ask you. I mentioned to you I already said the motivation to found your company over 30 years ago. I mean, we probably can all not imagine what Vietnam was then. Was a private purpose because you wanted to be closer. I love this. This is so cute. You wanted to be closer with your parents. So you decided to found the company, and I think this is great. And you were a woman, a female, one of the pioneers in Vietnam doing this. This is really a fantastic success stories, and you're successful since 30 years now. Looking back, you didn't just build a company, but you witnessed and helped shape the birth of Vietnam as an international tourism destination. So let me ask you, when you think back to those early days, what was Vietnam like as a destination? And did you ever imagine this incredible journey that both you and your country and your company would take? How do you, I mean, looking back and now, did you ever think that this is going to be a development like it is now? How was this journey for you?
Mm, First, thank you for inviting me here for the meeting with you, a very professional in travel industry. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
So looking back,
Yeah, okay. I think they
can
hear me
you
now. Okay.
explain me more what you mean, like?
Yeah, I think Herbert is just a moment. I think Herbert is here now. We'll put you on the
Yeah.
screen.
Can you hear me,
Yes,
Alfred?
yes,
Okay.
you are. You were.
Okay. I'm so
Here you
sorry.
are.
I don't know what exactly
Yeah,
happened,
hi.
but here am I. Okay.
Well,
Yeah.
great you're
Thank you very
here,
much.
Herbert. Wonderful. Okay,
Yeah.
Tui, we are in the middle of it already, so I'm speaking with Tui at the moment. When you again the question, when you think back to those early days, what was Vietnam like as a destination, and it is now? Did you ever imagine this incredible story that your country, Vietnam, would take as a player in the tourism industry?
Yes, we think, because I think Vietnam is beautiful, and even at long time ago. So we I'm born in Da Nang, and then I see we have very nice beaches, and then we have different like places, like mountain, like beaches, and then yeah, I think one day people want to come to Vietnam and visit the country, and then they will love it.
Yeah, absolutely. And how did it change in the last 30 years?
I think it changed a lot. Vietnam was very poor, and when I started working in 1991. At that time, we had very bad condition for tourism, and number one, like infrastructure, we like hotels, accommodation, transportation, airport flights. So now, at that time, we just have a few five-star hotels. I remember the first five-star hotel in Da Nang was Furama in 1997. And the other one is like Sofitel Metropole in Hanoi in 1992. We have not so many choice for the luxury tours travelers to come to Vietnam. Also about the transportation, it took 8 hours to travel from Hanoi to Ha Long Bay with the very bad road conditions. We had to cross 2 ferries to reach Ha Long Bay.
Wow.
So, but now we have express way from Hanoi to Ha Long Bay. It takes only 2 hours. So then it helps a lot. And we have more airports, we have more direct flight to Vietnam. So it let client has more opportunity to visit all over the country. And
Great.
I have another example, for example, golf. At my time when I start working for a travel agent, we say, oh, for what people doing playing golf?
Golf, yeah.
Yeah, because it's very new for Vietnamese people. How come you just play golf like that? For what? So,
Yeah, very
and
cool. I
then,
think nobody realizes that golf is in Vietnam. Yeah, absolutely.
yeah. And then my first golf tour to Vietnam was around the year 2000s. And they just can play at 3, 4 golf courses in Vietnam. So
Wow.
I remember it's the Vietnam Golf and Country Club in Saigon, BRG King Island in Dong Mo in Hanoi, and then the Đà Lạt Palace Golf Course. That's all.
That's it.
Yeah. But yeah, now you have nearly 100 golf courses around the country. So it helps to develop luxury golf tours in Vietnam. The other thing is, I think for the people, human resources in travel industry. When I start working 30 years ago, I study like just English and Russian, and I have no idea about the travel in Vietnam, about the service. But then we are on job learning. Now we have more and more like well-trained tourism professional to come to the country, and the new generation are very good on that. One important thing is about the country, the policy of the country. 30 years ago,
Yeah.
it was very difficult to get like a visa for foreigner to come to visit the country. But now you have very easy. You have an e-visa. You have like visa waiver for many like tourists, for many citizens to come to visit the country.
Well, that's
So I
great. So
think
there's
there's a lot
no
of change.
excuse not to travel to Vietnam. I would like to
Yes.
continue with Hildegard. As we have heard, you've been half of your life in Asia, and I think you could tell so many stories. We could probably talk 10 hours or so. Looking back on that journey, how have these different cultures shaped you? You've worked a lot in China, but shaped you not only as a hotelier, but also as a leader, because you've been leading teams, and even as a woman. So how has this different cultures shaped you? And you must like it because you're still there. That must have been an amazing journey. So tell us, how is it? when you started, and how is it now in Vietnam?
I don't know. I was the first. I came to Asia Pacific in 2003 to Bangkok. When Bangkok was still the Wild East.
Oh,
It's not anymore. It's very civilized now and very developed, and it's just like any other developed metropolis with just the weather is hotter, right? That's Bangkok, and the food's good. But when I then back then going to Vietnam was like stepping back in time, right? I've been to Hanoi in the early 2000s, and there were bicycles and there were not much else, right? I would like to say that in 1998 they installed the first traffic light into Hanoi in front of the Metropole Hotel. Not that they didn't have street crossings, but they had the policemen there, right? So about 28 years ago, they put the first automatic traffic lights in. That is the quantum leap that this country has made in the last 30 years. And I think it's very hard to go to Halong Bay because it's 2 hours in the car. But we forget where it was, and it's a bit difficult to fight against 30 years of backpacker nostalgia and then suddenly say, here I am, I'm the best hotel in Southeast Asia.
right.
But to stay it back to your question, it's great living in Asia. I enjoy it a lot. The food's amazing. People are super nice. Weather's good most of the time, unless it rains like it now, then obviously it's not so good. But I never experienced it as difficult. I had great fun here. I'm a food and beverage manager by trade, which the Asians appreciate. Asian hospitality is like the German hospitality, something you serve on a plate, right? Every guest that walks in your house, you shove a plate of food in their face. So I always had a very, very good time here. But the last 20 years, when I came here, it was all about adventure, and you needed to have guides, and you couldn't travel by yourself. And now Southeast Asia, maybe, with maybe the exception of Laos, that is slowly coming out of its shell, is a destination that a person that speaks basic English, not even fluent, basic, can easily travel by themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And
Exciting.
that is where we are going, right? When I got here the first time in 2004, foreigners were easily lost. But now Vietnam, Thailand is easy to travel. Really,
Yeah.
it is, right? Everybody speaks English. It's a very, very young country. There is a high percentage of people under 30 that are internet savvy, that are mobile phone savvy. I have an engineer here in the hotel that is local to Da Nang. He doesn't speak English, but he has a little translator in the ear when he comes to meetings with me, right?
Cool.
So
Mm-hmm.
it's all now becoming very, very easy.
Mm-hmm.
And there are amazing people here and amazing food, and all we need is for people to get the word out, because my parents or my uncles or my cousins, they're all back home saying, oh yeah, Vietnam, is it safe? Yeah, it's really,
True.
we are still fighting a little bit against the 60s hippies, but besides that, life here is awesome.
Oh, amazing. Well, thanks for sharing this. Herbert, welcome. I'm just going to I introduced everyone. I waited for you. So I'll make a very quick introduction of you, Herbert. Herbert Laubbichler-Pichler, Managing Director of Alma Resort Cam Ranh. And he also has more than 4 decades of experience in the hospitality industry. He's born in an Austrian hotelier family. And by the way, if you are at his hotel, you can experience Wiener Schnitzel and Sachertorte, which I thought this was really cool, because the Austrian culture travels with us, right? I thought I couldn't believe believe it. It's on the room service menu, the Wiener Schnitzel. I love that. So you have an enormous amount of experience as well, and throughout the years, and you made Vietnam your home already since 2008. So you have held senior leadership positions at some of the country's most prestigious hotels, like the Nam Hai, the Reverie Saigon, and now you're at the Annam Cam Ranh, and Alma Resort Cam Ranh, which you can opened and are there since then. So I would love to. So we'll jump immediately into the next question, and actually it should follow Hildegard's feedback. I mean, question as well. Every time I speak about Vietnam with you, you're just so enthusiastic. It's like your second home. You can feel that. So if you watched Vietnam transform over many years. Now looking back, what has been the most remarkable change for you? Love to hear that.
Yeah. Tui and Hildegard said already many things, and it's really, really striking what happened in the last. I know Vietnam since 2008. Yeah, when I came to Vietnam, I started off as the general manager of the Nam Hai, which is now a Four Seasons hotel, and I was the second foreigner in the province. And the party members in charge of this section, they had to come and see me because they wanted to meet a foreigner. And when they came, my director HR, Gan is her name, and she is still there, and we are still very close because we became friends while I was there. She said to me, "Boss, there are these party members. They want to come and see you." I said, "Okay, when would they come?" "Yeah, maybe we have coffee." And I said, "No, I understand that these men, they like to drink beer." So we invited them for dinner, and we had a great time. And I actually realized how down to earth these people were, very friendly and very curious. Yeah, very curious. And if you take now everything together, what Tui and Hildegard said, I'm not sure what Stefan said already because I came in a little bit late. I apologize one more time. But the combination of the curiosity of the Vietnamese people, the combination of the resilience over so many years and so many generations, they had wars and conflicts with people who wanted to take them over, made them extremely strong. Yeah, and because they have this talent and this nature to endure hardship and to endure shortages of equipment, shortages of money, and once they got the money. And once they got the investment from the outside, it exploded. Yeah, because it's a little bit like you imagine you are a tree, and you grow in a very dry environment, and suddenly someone gives you fertilizer and water. Yeah, and the fertilizer and the water was the money which came from the outside, and the education and the expertise, because there are we have to say that Vietnam was very clever to allow so many foreigners and experts to come to the country, and in many ways they became very instrumental to teach the Vietnamese, to pass on the experience, and the Vietnamese, because they were so keen to learn from them, they took it in like a sponge. Yeah? So this combination made it explode. It's like an explosion, and until today it is. Yeah. And if you look at areas like Da Nang, for example, Phu Quoc, yeah, or even my area where I live and work in Cam Ranh, it's amazing how many new projects are coming, and what's happening in the country. And it's not just so much in the it is more in the touristic regions. It is more in the development happens more in the resort areas, in the islands, at the beach areas, because there's more land to build projects. If you look at the big cities like Hanoi, I cannot remember when a hotel was opened like the Capella, yeah, maybe 15, 20 years ago, because there is not enough land. In Saigon, for example, the last prestigious brand which came into the city was Hilton, or in District 1 down at the Saigon River, because there isn't just enough land. So the real development in Vietnam actually happens outside of the big cities. which has a spillover impact on the cities, because the hotels in the tourist the resorts, they do all the marketing for the country. And yeah, because we have so many projects, we have so many rooms to fill, but in Saigon and in Hanoi, there's a limited amount of rooms to fill. And I was just about to send Hildegard an invoice for all the marketing we do for Hanoi, yeah, and for all the sales. Yeah, you will get a big bill, Hildegard, yeah, because we spent millions. We spent millions to promote the country, and then they all have to pass by Hanoi and Saigon, yeah.
Very good.
So yeah.
I love it. I think it's a great arrangement.
Yeah, and when you come to my place, I give you a schnitzel and a Sachertorte. Yeah.
Very good. I love that. Thank you for the first insight. Steffen, what you have missed, Herbert, was the all-round business. How is the world doing at the moment with luxury travel with the Middle East? Steffen was I asked him to be very general, so we have we have a feeling of the mood, what's happening, and actually positive. We just need to be a little bit patient with the Middle East, but that's it. So Steffen, now we're going to go deeper. So you've described Vietnam as a hidden star. I think the German, especially air tours, etc., we don't have it so much on the map yet here the travel agencies. So why does such an exceptional destination still remain under the radar of so many luxury travelers? What do you think? Yeah. We can't hear you.
I was too polite to put on mute. Now I forgot. Sorry. No, if you ask the customers or let's say the travel agents, which I mentioned already, our very strong relation with, you're getting like the answer for the question, like, what do you think of luxury destination worldwide or in Asia? Vietnam is not on the top list. Why? Because other destinations been there since many, many decades. As we heard already, like 30 years ago, we already had luxury hotels, luxury business, luxury travel in other destinations, like the Maldives, like Thailand, like even Dubai was not there maybe 30 years ago. It's crazy, but there have been so many other destinations. And that's why there's, let's say, a big infrastructure for luxury travel in this kind of destinations. And as we heard from Tui, from Hildegard, as well from Herbert, the development in Thailand just started some years ago, maybe 10 years ago, the last decade. And it was big investments, which is great. But on the good side, that's why I said it's a hidden star, because luxury customers, as we all know, they want to discover as well new destinations, new developments, new hotels, or even see new destinations. Must be not new hotels or whatever, but new for them. And that's great that we have possibilities for new destinations like Vietnam. And let's say the other region is, as I told you, Astrid, in the talk before, let's say the challenge is for customers like thinking beyond Thailand. Because always when you're thinking about tourism, or especially as well luxury tourism, it's like, oh, it's Thailand. Okay, there's some destinations before looking from Europe, but of course they're beyond. But beyond means, oh, it's maybe I have to change the flights, maybe in Bangkok, in Singapore, or wherever in KL. Of course, there are some non-stop destinations from Munich and Frankfurt to Hanoi and Saigon with Vietnam Airlines, but it's limited. It's a limitation today of seats. And let's say it's good because I tried it as well, and all is good, but it's not enough. And today the lack of, let's say, it's not a capacity, it's more the feeling of changing flights in the Middle East, which is, let's say, sensitive still at the moment, is the limitation of, let's say, thinking I can change in Dubai and Abu Dhabi, I can fly directly from the Middle East to Da Nang and other destinations, not to change. It's not necessary to change in Hanoi or Saigon, but it's a limitation of thinking, okay, I can do it, but no, at the moment, I'm a little bit scared at the moment because we don't know what will happen tomorrow. So that's why we know the developments are there. big and good hotels are already there. We have great DMCs, and the country has a huge variety of food. We have already heard of landscape, of people. People make the difference. Of course, nature as well, but people make it. They do it, and it's let's say the experience as well. As we know in luxury business, it's of course must be a nice hotel, must be big rooms, but the difference, of course, the experiences which you have in the hotel, outside the hotels, in the countryside. We already speaking about ultra personalization. It's not only personalization, which we have since ever in the luxury business, it's ultra. It means we're getting requests like, oh, we're speaking about Michelin-star hotels, which we have only, I think, 2, 3 years. First time. Yeah, I know you have. Yeah, I know. But only 3 years ago. Yes, was the first one. Was the first one actually.
Yeah.
We're the only one.
Yes, and the only one, but it started. It's coming up for the customers in the mind saying, okay, there's a Michelin star hotel. I get a table maybe in 2 months. I will have a whole travel journey to Vietnam because of the table in the Michelin star hotel. In Vietnam, is developing. Other destinations is a reason to go to some like Dubai as well, or Copenhagen or whatever. Singapore especially. It's like
Yeah.
I get a table in 3 months, so I have the whole journey around the table in the restaurant. This is like ultra personalization. They want to have not only, once again, the nice room, nice service. Every luxury hotel is offering worldwide this, but the difference is like what I can discover, what I can have around there is privacy. Of course, we all know, and let's say maybe coming for some challenges as well. It's still the infrastructure. Let's say in the country, it developed a lot over the last 30 years, but still, to have like infrastructure is as well, like let's say the airport, the service at the airport, what we can offer. Other destination, of course, they are beyond because they are installed years ago
Yeah, of
already.
course. They are much more
And there's
advanced.
potential. That's why I
Yeah.
always say there's a big potential because the value for money in the luxury segment is really great. What you get in terms of what you are paying, it's unbelievable. And that's why I'm always saying it's a hidden star. Hopefully, with this kind of panel, it's a star more than a hidden one. But it's like for new luxury customers as well, young
Yes.
luxury customer. I think it's a new possibilities. Not only to go first Thailand as always, as we know, but it's like going to Vietnam. You will be surprised of the country, of the people, what you get there for what you paid, and it's really great. And
Good
You
news.
know,
yeah,
you know,
absolutely, from my point of view.
Yeah. Hildegard, I would love to ask you because I mean, you have worked in China a lot, as we know now, and with the Vietnamese hospitality professionals. And what makes the Vietnamese stand out? What's the difference? And you also told me you have some great examples, like your sommelier. I mean, this is unheard of. Tell us a little bit about
okay.
what you have created, the great personalities there. Yeah.
I concur with what Stefan says, right? I mean, it is a bit challenging because we have to overcome perception. Last year, the Capella Hanoi was awarded 3 Michelin keys. That puts us in the top 150 hotels in the world. If you want to, more they didn't fit into that booklet, and it's everybody I meet is like in Vietnam. I'm like, yeah. And for my little hotel, I mean, we only have 45 rooms, brings us back to hyper personalization, but we are very small, and Hanoi is not the hub of activity. That it's a beautiful city, but it's hard to get to once in a while. People are surprised. But I am blessed with an extremely beautiful hotel. Please, everybody look it up. It is in every Architect Reader's Digest. It is a wonderful building. But everybody, as I always say, can have a very nice building. All you need is a rich, crazy person that builds you one, right? What really, really sets us apart, and I have guest comments all the time that mention the people that I work with. We only have 8 expats in the hotel, of which 6 are in the kitchen.
Wow.
We have a Michelin-starred Japanese restaurant, so I have 3 Japanese chefs. I have an Italian chef and a kitchen director, right? But for example, what you mentioned, right? My bar. I have a bar that is in the top 50 best bars in Asia Pacific, but one of my bartenders there, a young gentleman that his English name is Patrick, his Vietnamese name is Khanh. He is the national champion in bartending, and we have sent him overseas to Toronto last September to the International World Championships, and he came back 16th.
Wow.
He has the skill, the drive, and the absolute ambition to represent Vietnam. He learned English for that. He got a passport for that. It was his first trip overseas. So I arranged a Canadian friend that I have to meet him in Toronto at the airport, right, to just make sure that the poor boy doesn't get lost. It's cold in Toronto in September. So I have sommeliers that are award-winning. I have 6 sommeliers in-house. We have 4 restaurants. They're all WSET certified. They are all on level 3, which is the highest certification that you can get in that area. 2 of them will go to France. One will go to France and one will go to Australia this year to go for the Harvards to get the international sommelier certification at the French Institute. So there is talent here.
Wow.
And there's especially drive here. Vietnamese young people in Vietnam, and I'm sure that Herbert can and Miss Tui can say that too. They're like sponges. You give them something to learn, and they will learn it, because they know that they still can better themselves. They can better a whole family. If you are successful as a restaurant manager or a chef, you can change your fate. You can change your family back in your home village somewhere in the mountains, right? So there is an unbelievable eagerness to do well.
Wow.
And the Europeans in the call will know that that is not like that everywhere in the world, but that recreates in the hotel a great atmosphere, because they all wanna be here. They're all in this hotel because they're highly motivated. They're super proud to work in this beautiful hotel and show all these foreigners how good Vietnam can be. So in the hotel, you have this unbelievable positive atmosphere. Everybody is happy. Everybody is excited to be here. Everybody is excited to show the tourists how wonderful it is here. So Vietnamese people are, I'm very enthusiastic about this, sorry. Vietnamese people are by nature extremely charming and graceful. That is their culture, that is their thinking. Hospitality is in their thinking. You are laughing, Miss Tui. I'm a German. It was hard for me, okay? But you put this great atmosphere, this great building, and this beautiful natural gracefulness together. This hotel or any other hotel of this caliber in this country can provide a hospitality atmosphere that is rare. And jaded Thailand, that has seen maybe a bit too many tourists, or jaded other luxury beach destinations or city destinations there where the people are a little bit over the tourist. Here we are still very excited that people would take a 16-hour flight to come here, right? And you can feel it in their hearts. So what is here is the ideal combination for me as a luxury hospitality person. I found a very fertile ground for all my motivational thinking. Sorry, I got carried away, but it's my favorite topic.
Yeah, no, we can feel it. And I know it's Herbert's topics actually as well. So I would love to ask Herbert, Alma has a completely different approach. Many people associate luxury with smaller, more intimate hotels. Alma has a completely different concept, and you managed to, with the villas, to create a resort in the resort. But how do you find develop talented people for Alma, because you almost have a little village too. There's a little world of its own, and I've been and I have seen and felt how motivated the people are, and how much you have also, like Hildegard, a special leadership. So how do you see the difference between also Vietnamese and maybe other countries you've worked with? Yeah. I would love to hear how you
Yeah.
manage that. How many expatriates do you have in the percentage, maybe? Yeah.
Oh, we have less than 1%. We don't
Oh,
have so many expats. We have
yeah.
it's one. Okay,
Yeah.
I think we have
Yeah.
not even three. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we have very few expats. We had a lot of expats at the beginning when we opened in 2019, mainly in the kitchen, and they did a great job because they trained all the Vietnamese colleagues, and these Vietnamese colleagues they are now outlet chefs. Some of them are executive sous chef. Some of them are food and beverage managers. So we also made use of this drive to get better, to do something for the families, and wanting to learn as much as possible. Like Hildegard explains from the Capella, we did exactly the same. And you said something very interesting, Astrid. We are not like the Capella. The Capella Hotel or the other hotels I managed before, like the Anam, which is like an Indochine style hotel, which the Namhai, which is like all villas. Yeah. So our hotel is, I always call it a testimony to the new Vietnam. Not everything can be built old. Not everything is old. Okay. And I laugh when someone asks me, okay, how is Vietnam? And everyone thinks Catherine Deneuve will come around the corner for breakfast, and then there is maybe be careful when you go out to the village, because you may step into a minefield, and they think the Americans left 5 years ago. So there's still war. So this is something we fight. Okay, and I try as much as I can to overcome this. I know everyone is doing this. Okay, but our hotel is really, really modern. Yeah, we don't have anything which would remind you of Indochine. So we don't have water buffaloes and rice fields and rusty bicycles in front of our hotel. We are, I always say, the testimony to the new Vietnam. And because we know that many foreigners who still think, okay, when I go to Vietnam, I want to see the Sofitel Metropole. I want to have a cocktail which is named after Charlie Chaplin. Yeah. I want to see the Park Hyatt. I want to see the Caravelle. I want to see all these Indochine style hotels. So what we do is we bring this feeling, what Vietnam makes so special, and Stefan also said it, it's the people make the difference. So because our hardware is so modern, we now base all our hospitality purely on the people, because everyone can build a 70 square meter room, because our smallest room is 70 square meter. Everyone can build large villas with 250 square meter in the swimming pool, but not everyone can instill this passion into the people, so they can perform a world-class hospitality. And we are so lucky that we have this basis. The basis is here. We just have to be patient and sincere in what we do to train them, and then something really, really good comes out. Yeah. So I can just concur what Hildegard says is absolutely true. And I everywhere I go, we always, when we meet at events, we always talk about how good our people are. I don't see anyone, I never see anyone from my colleagues to complain about the people. They always complain about the owners, the hotel owners, yeah, because they can be very complicated, yeah. But nobody ever complains about their staff, yeah. And if someone complains about their staff, we don't talk to them because we don't like them, because they haven't understood how to treat them, yeah. So
that's very
but
good. You are that's a absolutely fantastic attitude to have. Absolutely. Tui, you obviously you don't have any expatriates, but you have a number two who speaks perfect German, because he was in Germany, right? So you can really conquer to the European market. How do you have two children? Are they going to take over your company? No.
I'm not sure. I'm not
Oh,
sure.
okay.
Now they still want to go work for like a big company, a corporation, something.
Okay.
I don't know when they get
Right.
like elder, they want to take over or not.
All right. Okay. No, but so you have a fantastic team. I also got to know them already
Thank
in our
you.
conversations. Yes.
Sounds very good. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Wonderful.
your team is with you a long time, right? Do you also have
Yeah.
ladies or do you have mainly men?
90% is ladies.
Whoa. Okay. That's cool.
And
Well,
yes. So mainly in travel industry, I think many girls, women working in the travel industry in Vietnam, more
bec-
than
yeah,
men.
because they have more flexibility, right? Because because I know that the families in Vietnam, the ladies have to take care of of their parents, of the grandparents, the parents of the husband, and the children, and themselves, and the work. So how do they manage? How does your team manage that?
I think we get used with that.
Okay.
At least for our generation.
Very
Just
good.
working hard.
Working hard,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah, and
Yeah.
delivering and being just who you are,
Yeah.
definitely.
And then we enjoy the family, we enjoy working, we enjoy with the staff,
Right.
with the
Okay.
college. So that,
Yeah.
yeah.
And
Very, yeah.
Astrid, you
Yeah.
must know one thing in Vietnam, you know, the women drive everything. In Vietnam, it's not like in other countries where the men drive everything. In this country, the women drive everything. It's
I
it's
love it.
common that a man who gets married gives all the money to his wife. He only
Oh,
keeps some pocket money, yeah. But if the good husbands, what they do after they get married, they give all the money to the wife. I would say 80-90%, and they keep a little bit. And without women in this country, nothing would happen. I tell you, it's really
wow.
You do the
amazing.
same.
I do exactly the same, yeah.
Yes, it's quite obviously that you're well educated and trained.
For sure. Well, the hour is almost over. I have one question from Lotte Spanninger from Vienna. She has a great travel agency, and I don't know if somebody can reply to that. We are often facing long delays of planes with Vietnam due to weather conditions. When may we expect the opening of the train line from Hanoi to Singapore, and what will be the stops on the route? Does anybody know that?
There
You
is
mean
a
from
train
Hanoi
line.
to Saigon, yeah?
There
Yeah,
is
Hanoi
a
to
train
Saigon,
Saigon.
line
not
under.
Singapore, Saigon. Yeah.
Yeah,
There
yeah.
is a train line under discussion. The Hanoi government has given the contract to a local company.
Yeah.
They are currently seeking overseas expertise because, as we said at the beginning, they're extremely smart to find the people that do it already very well, and then study them, and then learn and be fast. But I think it would be better to plan a trip with the second airport that they're gonna open here, because the train tracks have to be laid first. There are train tracks between Hanoi and Saigon, but they have to be renewed. The only thing that came out good currently from the situation in the Middle East is that Vietnam has drastically reduced internal flights. A lot of the super cheap airlines like Bamboo Airlines and things like that have cut flights. So now the more reliable airlines like Vietnam Airlines, Sun Phuoc is new, but they're very, very good, are now in the sky with better airplanes, with better service, and there is reduced traffic. So I have no empirical proof. I only know that the complaints reduced. I travel quite a lot because my owners have a second property in the south. So it's better, and it is getting better. Waiting for the train. I would love to have a train. I love train rides, but it'll take a little bit of time.
Okay, Lotte, we will not manage to wait for that, because then we're all going to be retired probably. But But as Hildegard said, there's other solutions. So, and it's getting better. Fantastic. We have 1 hour is past. It's just flew by, and there's so much more we could say. So thank you for everybody for hanging in there, really from the first to the last minute. This is fantastic. Thank you, my dear fellows from Vietnam and from Hanover for joining us today. Have a lovely day ahead, and thank you everybody for listening,
Bye bye,
and
everyone.
have a great
Bye bye.
summer.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye bye.